Welcome to our free Figma pop-up template. What you've got right away is you can see you've got mobile and desktop designs. Step one is capturing a preference or zero-party data so you can drive that into your ESP or SMS platform. And then here you can see that this is laid out using Figma's auto layout to help save you time. And then you've got your layers ordered neat and tidy. You can swap out the imagery. And then you've got step one, step two being email capture, step three being that phone input, and then four being the reply Y for the double opt-in when you have to reply back to the text. But if you're doing email only, you could do preference, email, and then you could go skip straight down to showing them the discount code, and you could even give them that reminder bar after they close out the pop-up. And these are the follow-ups. So essentially if you're here and you close out the pop-up, you can get this follow-up. It can be anything that you want. You can go as wild as you want with the design. So use Figma to its fullest capacity to create the design. And then what you also have is you can quickly jump into Amped, grab that template from Amped, choose how you want to use it. So we've got the Guildford template, build your own. In this case, we're going to do email and S capture, PostScript, phone input field, and then this is your flow. You can preview it in the browser if you'd like. It's going to look just like that Figma template that we were creating, and then you can see how it works. If we want to go ahead and use that, you can open it in the editor. That's the view only mode since this is a template, and you can start going through and customizing this. If you're already logged in, you can go ahead and say use this template, and then it can either create a new template or add it as a split test variation in an existing campaign. And if you're not already signed up for Amped and you go straight into this template and you hit use this template, it's just simply going to ask you what site do you want to use it on, and then you can start a free trial of Amped right then and there. But you've got the same capabilities that you do in Figma. So here are all your layers. They're laid out extremely similar. So if we look at how it's organized, and then you've got full no-code access to edit everything about it. And if you've added in additional elements, just hit add an element. This is a template, so it's view only, but as soon as you hit add an element, you can bring in text, buttons, whatever you like. And then on the buttons, you have your actions here. So if we go up to button actions, this is where you can set that amped preference, which can flow through to Klaviyo, PostScript, whatever you're using. And then here it says, set that user property and go to the next step, which is a relative next step. So we can actually set specific steps or just the relative language of go to the next step. Over here, we have if this is closed, go to the follow-up on step one. And then when they click that, it brings them back into the flow. We typically have copy that helps keep them engaged. So we're asking them, in this case, to share your diet lifestyle. On the next step, we're capturing email with a continue as the CTA. And then here we have activate. If they close that out, the follow-up step is going to say activate instead of claim. And then after that, they have the reply Y. We've got an HTML animation in here, so you can edit that color easily. And then in your background, you can swap these out. In Amped, you really, again, you have that full capability to create whatever it is that you want, but we've laid this out intentionally to make it easy on you. Now, in Figma, you have components. In Amped, you have styles. In Amped, you can look at container with background. That little green icon is linked up here. You could detach the style if you needed to, but that green icon means that if I change this green color on any of the steps that use that style, it will change the color on all of them. So helpful time-saving feature. And then once you use this template, you will see that you can preview it on your site, get going with it. So I've already got an account. I'm just going to create a new campaign using this template. Once we create that new campaign, we've got a draft in here. This is where we're setting up all of our targeting, all of our rules, and how we want this to work. But really, we can go straight into that template. Here it is. We can hit preview, view it locally, or preview it on your site. You'll have to install Amped on your site to be able to preview it on the site. But even if you haven't, we can preview it locally. It'll take a screenshot of your site once you've already gone ahead and signed up. And then once it takes that preview, which might take just a second, it'll overlay that campaign on top of that screenshot, and then you can see exactly how it works. So I'll show you that styles feature quickly, where I can click on this one, and let's say our brand colors are actually more of a blue. You can see how that's starting to change. And then even if we're gonna maybe use, let's say, a linear gradient, we can go ahead and start setting that up, configuring that to match, and we're off to the races. So that's how you start customizing it. For this image back here, this is one layer that is 100% width with 120 height. and it's laid out inside of our background accents container, and it's absolutely positioned at the bottom. You can set that one background image. We'd recommend just using a PNG with a transparent background. And then on the desktop size, since Amped is mobile responsive, you really only have to set your content once. So if that's 12% off, you can see how that copy changes here. And it's using the same font, it's just a little bit bigger. So you're setting everything up on mobile first, and then you're going to the desktop size to make it a little bit better. Okay, that is a super quick overview of the new free Figma template. Use this, create something amazing, and then Amped will create a nice way for you to be able to go in and make that the same way that you're used to designing and create something amazing that leverages the conversion principles that we've found to work best. We can't wait to see what you create. Reach out if you need a hand. We're happy to dive in with you. Thank you. Bye.